Hi there, Michael Bovee with Consumer Recovery Network. Thanks for tuning in to our DebtBytes YouTube channel. And today I'm going to cover, it's a reader question that I've had submitted right here, but I want to talk about it in a different context than how it reads. So I'm going to start off with saying this. Doing the right thing, or what you perceive to be the right thing about your unaffordable debt, doesn't necessarily get you the results that you're thinking. How does that add up? All right, so I'm going to get into the reader question, and I'm going to answer it very succinctly and directly to start with, and then you'll understand a little bit better as to how this woman has set herself up to not accomplish her credit reporting goals. Here we go. We're up to date, but drowning in debt. Then I lost my job. At bankruptcy attorney's advice, I stopped paying all of my credit cards back in July of 2014, and it's January 2016 when we're recording this. Meanwhile, I decided to give up a house and move. An underwater short sale process is happening right now. I decided not to file bankruptcy. Started payments again in January of 2015, so this woman has been paying now for a year after she fell behind because her bankruptcy attorney told her not to pay. She decided not to file bankruptcy. Too late, debts have charged off. Have been paying regularly for 1 year now, usually more than the minimum required. She's paying a total of $1,650 a month, at least, across these following accounts. Amex Blue, B of A, Capital One, Amex Gold, B of A, and a boiler loan, so a loan for a household item. These are all accounts that are still with her original creditors. She says at this rate she's scheduled to be out of debt in about 2 more years, 3 total, better than 5 years of a Chapter 13 bankruptcy, and I would agree with that. However, charge-offs are just as bad on her credit report. Her FICO score is in the toilet. What can we do? Here's her main question. Have you ever seen creditors remove the write-off or the charge-off ding? Okay, so, Krista, the situation where you agreed to start paying again after a year's delinquency, or at least after 6 months of delinquency when these accounts charged off, all the damage has been done to your credit and you cannot unring that bell. No. In other words, you're asking, will Amex, Bank of America, and Capital One and these creditors remove that because you continue to pay them? Absolutely not. You have to try and catch those kind of situations before they charge off the account. Then there is something called re-aging, where they bring your account current even though you didn't pay 6 months of arrears or 5 months of arrears or 3 months of arrears. You just start making payments again, and as long as you make a few in a row on time, they'll re-age your account on your credit report so it doesn't appear as if it's it's being that delinquent in perpetuity. Once the charge-off occurs, it's not going to be undone. They can't undo it. So, with that credit damage and your goal of trying to bounce back financially, I typically find the best, and this is kind of counterintuitive, the best way to do that or accelerate that is to settle your debt with your creditors for less than you owe, making it so that you can get out of debt quicker than you could have in a Chapter 13, quicker than you could now, making the payments. And that way you bring your accounts to a 0 balance owed. The negatives aren't going to get any more negative because you settled. All that damage was done when you allowed them to charge off. So, focusing on what you can do in the near term, 1, 2, 3 years, while you continue to make smaller payments and not pay off the debt, it's not going to get you anywhere. It's not going to bring your FICO up. I'm not sure what your financing goals are in the near future, but it's also going to be the short sale that's going on and the non-payment of the mortgage that's bringing your FICO down. So you've got a combination of things happening. At the time when your short sale clears, at least to the point where you're able to get another home loan, which is usually 3 years, you'll be done with these debts and they're paid off and your credit will bounce back in that time frame. If you've got financing goals in the next 3 years, they're going to be very difficult to accomplish given the state of your credit. If you want to accelerate anything, it would probably be to settle with your banks for a lump sum, and I cover settlement with all of your banks in other videos on this channel. If you have questions beyond this, I can answer them in the comment section below or on the website. See you on the next video.